Hello, everyone. It's time for a weekly message from Jesus. Each week, I bring you his words. I know there's many that believe I really can't be speaking his words, but I am. And his words are always incredible. And I'm sure this week is going to be no exception. So I want to thank all of you that tune in and listen. I especially want to thank all of you that do your best to try to send my words to others who might be interested in them. So thank you so much. I know our Lord is here, and I know he is ready to speak. Hello, everyone. Yes, each week I do come to you. As I say, I probably say the same words each week. Because when it really comes down to it, there's not a whole lot of different words I can say. I tell all of you how proud I am of you, how much I love you, and how much I respect what you do, that you take time out of your week to listen, that you take time to try to pass the words on that I speak. So I'm very, very proud. And as you know, I bless each and every one of you. Many of you have got difficult lives. I know that. And I try to make it as easy as I can, but sometimes lessons are just very hard for humans. So today I want to speak to you about many things. I want to tell you, first of all, that it is a very difficult time to be a human. Many things are going on in your worlds that you have no control over. There are many times that you are involved in situations over which there's nothing you can do. It seems like evil is growing in the world, and in many respects, it truly is. Evil's been around so much through the years, and the times you are living in is no exception. You have major wars going on. You have dictators that are sending their young boys to their death. There's no reason for it except the ego and greed of the individuals that are leading those countries. I've talked to you many times about it, and I know that there's really nothing that any of you can do because it's up to those people. When they come back to heaven, there's something I can do about it, but I'm not going to interfere with their free will. If they want to continue to dig their way down to the lowest level of my heaven, well, that's their choice, and many of them are doing it. But the question, I guess, is why did they do it? Well, free will. As I've said many times, I might have gotten a little carried away and given humans too much free will. Maybe it would have been better if I had restricted them in some of the decisions that they make for themselves. But I want all of you to do exactly as you please, as you want. I hope that you'll use the common sense that I've given you to make the right decisions. I've sent people back from my heaven through the years to bring you messages. I sent Barry and Connie back to do this, and they're doing their best. And you are doing your best to hear the words. So those of you that are listening, there's really not a whole lot more I can say to you because I'm very pleased. But there are so many people out there, so many people that do not pay attention to any of my words. So many people that just simply want to live their own lives, to do what they want to do. There are so many people that don't even believe in an afterlife. There are many very educated people that don't believe in me, don't believe that there is an existence after death. I wish that they would change their minds. I try to influence them, but I'm not going to change their minds. That would interfere with their free will. In many ways, I think the free will thing is the most important asset that I've given to humans. Those of you who use it properly, it's working great things for you. When your souls return to heaven, you have nothing to fear because you're living a good life, a great life. You're doing your best. You're going to be greeted. You should have no fear of death. You need to prepare for it because those around you are going to grieve greatly when it comes. But you need You need to simply keep doing what you're doing, showing using your common sense, and all things will work out for you. But what about the people that refuse to listen? They're the ones that I would truly wish to reach with my words, but they're the most difficult. Many have made up their mind that there's no chance, so the only thing that's going to change it is death. When they die, they'll come back to my heaven and we'll teach them what they didn't learn. But sadly, they're creating all these terrible karmas that they're going to pay for in future lives, learning experiences that they need. They're going to know, oh, they're going to know, all right, what they did wrong. And they're going to have to pay for it. You always have to pay. If you go into a restaurant and order a meal, you have to pay for it. Those people are working. They need to pay their bills as well. So there's always a price, but there's also a reward. When the people go into a restaurant and they receive a very good meal, they're thankful for it. But sometimes the meals aren't so good. Sometimes maybe the food was spoiled. So sometimes the lessons, even though you pay for them, are difficult. Nothing is easy. I guess I'm repeating myself more than I should be. What I really want you to do is to make the most of what is taking place in your world. Make the most of the bad, because there is much bad, but learn from it. That is how you make the most of it. If you just simply close your mind and say, well, there's nothing I can do about it, then that is not what I want of you, because you can always do something. When you teach the young about me, you are doing a great service to the young. Many of the young need guidance. Many of them, their parents are working 2-3 jobs just to pay their bills. They're doing what they need to do, but they're leaving a great gap in the education of those young people. On the other side of the coin, there are many people with great wealth that send their kids off to expensive universities where they learn that I don't exist, where they are taught the greatest lies that they can be taught. So there's many ways to look at life. Great wealth can be a great asset if you use it to help others, or it can be a terrible detriment. When you send your children to these terrible universities where the professors have convinced themselves that I don't exist, and they feel that they need to teach all their children that I don't exist. Now, those professors are going to find out how stupid they were when they come back, but it's the damage they do in the interim. I know you're saying, Lord, you could do something about this, and I could, but I won't, because the whole thing about living a human life is making your own decisions, doing the best you can do, and hopefully learning my lessons. But if you choose not to learn my lessons and follow my words, well, okay, that's the way it is. Many countries are totally not following my words or my teachings. You see, countries can also learn the lesson of not doing anything they don't want done to themselves. Let's take Russia, for instance. They're shooting rockets at people that just want to be free. And then they're upset because people shoot rockets back at them. Well, guess what? If you stop shooting your rockets, they'll stop shooting at you. It's really pretty simple. If you stop showing anger, many people will stop showing anger towards you. If you stop showing hatred, they'll stop showing hatreds as well. So there's many scales to what I say. You can do it on a simple basis in how you live your life. Or if you're in a position of power, you can use your political power to do good and not do unto other countries or to the people what you don't want done to yourself. I watch from over here as many of the people of power gain great wealth through that power. They have inside information and they use it. They make great money. I see your stock markets being manipulated. I won't do anything about it because it's up to you to elect politicians that don't manipulate the markets. It always comes down to free will. That is the foundation of a human life. And it is a foundation that those of you that are listening, you've learned the lessons. You know how to use your free will. You know how to listen to what I have to say. You know how to help others. You know how to show love. You know how to control your anger. But there are so many people that need to learn those lessons. Sometimes I wish that I truly had laid a few restrictions out. But we tell people in their life plans what they're supposed to do. The people that turn to evil, they're turning away from the life plans. They're turning away from all the things we told them before we let them come back. It's not easy. It's not easy for you. It's not easy for us in heaven because we lay these life plans out and then we are disappointed when the individual turns away. I've sent people back from my highest levels to save cultures and civilizations, and they've turned evil because they would rather have power. Hitler's a great example. I speak of him often. He was an incredibly intelligent person, had worked thousands of lives to gain the seventh level. We sent him back, thought we could trust him. But when he got back, he may use that free will to gain power. He loved his ego. Anyone that loves his ego has got a problem. When we had Barry and Connie start to channel and use that channeling board, which people said was so evil, we gave them a prayer to use. The key part of that prayer was protect us from our own egos. That wasn't an accident because we knew that when people first learn to communicate with us, it can affect their egos. So we gave Barry and Connie advance warning of it, and they listened to it. You can tell they have no egos. All they're trying to do is help. If they had egos, they'd be charging you for this information. Churches have egos. They charge for it. When they pass that plate around, they're charging for the information that they're gaining in that church. Yes, they have to pay for the ministers, the property, the buildings, and all the things that go with it. But you see these ministers that are living in great mansions. Where do you think that came from? Well, you know. So where am I headed today with all this? I guess just simply, I want to thank you for living the great lives that you're living. When you listen to me, you're living a great life, and I could not be more pleased. There are those of you who are trying to spread my words, and I could not be more pleased. As I often tell you, when I walked the earth, it wasn't easy for me to spread my own words. I knew what I wanted to say, but there were those around me that didn't want me to say it. The Jewish priests, they disagreed with me. The Romans, they disagreed with me. And they kind of took it to the extreme, didn't they? They put me on a cross and made me suffer and tortured me. But I got the last laugh because I resurrected. I came back and I proved to everyone the power of God, even though they had done their best to suppress it. Today, there are many people that are doing their best to suppress information about my power. Many of them are successful. There are countries where propaganda rules. North Korea, those poor people, they have never heard the truth. The generations that have controlled the country have kept the truth from them. They've kept them in poverty. They're still using outhouses in the coldest weather. They don't have running water because they cannot let the leaders of countries like this, they can't tell the truth. If they let it slip that there were individuals that were living, not making a great living, but living a lifestyle that those poor people in North Korea cannot even think about, that would be pretty destructive for them. They can only control by power. They have a strong military. They have no conscience. There's no problem with them harming the people if people try to disagree. Look what the mullahs of Iran have done to their people that disagree. They've killed tens of thousands of them. They have no conscience. All they have is the desire for power. even though they pretend that they're religious leaders. Believe me, I sent the Prophet Muhammad back, and I know what he spoke, and I know what he taught. And he did not teach that if somebody disagrees, you simply kill all of them. He tried to form a loving religion, and he did. It's how people have translated his teachings later that have harmed him. There are so many people in the world that fear the Islamic faith because of what the radicals have done to it. They truly don't understand what the Prophet really wanted. He wanted people to live in peace, even though he was forced to be a military leader. He tried his best. He had to use strong force at times to save those followers that needed savings. But he did not create a religion of hatred that you see today. There are many of the leaders of the church will tell you that this is the way it is, that things haven't changed since the 7th century. But there'll be a time that the leaders understand that 7th century teachings are not going to lead them into the 21st or 22nd centuries. So there'll be a time that the followers understand that hatred is not the way to the future. Hatred is never the way to the future. When you see those that hate, you know that they're headed for failure. Even the greatest people, the most rich people that you have, if they don't use that money and show hatred towards the people that need it, they're going to fail. Hatred always fails. It just takes a little time. It might take a lot of time. For humans, hatreds have been around for thousands and thousands of years, and it's going to take a lot more time. Go to the Middle East and you see hatreds that are generational. I'm not sure when those people are ever going to stop hating each other, but they have to. There has to be a time that the hatreds end. It's going to want to go one of two ways, folks. The hatreds are either going to destroy, or the hatreds are going to go away and everything will be fine. Why is it that people can't understand that simple fact? If you hate, you are destroying yourself. When you show anger, you're creating the energies that will destroy you, because the anger of others can destroy you. And it can be very simple. If you gossip behind a person at work, you're harming them. They'll find out eventually. Someone will tell them what you're saying, and then they're going to gossip about you. And that's not going to help. So just simply live this good life of which I speak, the simple life. The life where you just take one step at a time, always do your best, and always follow my words. What could be more simple? I especially don't want you to fear death. Barry is writing a book, and there's going to be a lot of information about death in it. And it all is targeted towards making sure you don't fear it. That actually you understand that when the day comes that you come home, it's going to be a great day for you because you'll know the joys of heaven. For those that show evil, it's not going to be as great a day because they're going to be told what they did wrong. But it's not going to, we're not going to send them to hell and see if we can toast them like a barbecue, because hell doesn't exist. I have places for the truly evil, but it is a positive place. Not for them particularly while they're there, because there's nothing. They'll be in darkness and they'll be contemplating what they did. But they can come out when their heart is right, when they understand that their future lives have got to make up for what they did. So there's always a positive side to everything in my heaven. There's no lying in heaven. You must always tell the truth. You must always do good. There's no hatreds. There's no pain. There's no suffering. So why would you not look forward to a place like this? A human life, it has grief, it has suffering, it has pain, but it also has hope. It has hope in my words. If you listen to my words, you have the greatest hope in your life. You know that the pain and the suffering and the grief will end, and you know that your soul's coming home to this incredible heaven I created. What could be more important to you? When you're living a human life, you want people to show grace, to show love to you. That will come if you show it to them. Do not think if you're going to be this curmudgeon that is always angry and speaking nasty towards kids that they're going to love you. They're going to feel sorry for you at some point because you're a fool, but it's not going to be a good thing. Show the love that I want you to show. Help the young. Show them the love. Show them that God, tell them that God loves them. They don't know this. They're not born with that information. They have to be taught. So many of you humans have to be taught as well. And I'm not talking to those of you that are listening, but the ones that I want to listen. If you come and listen to my words, you will learn. You will have no choice because my words are so simple. Just do your best, show love, listen to my words when you get the chance, tell others about my words. Just do all the good things that many of you are doing. Continue to do them. I am blessing all of you once again, as I always do. Thank you so much for being who you are. And thank you so much for trying to pass my words on to others who need them. Goodbye. We'll be back again next week. I never can understand. Well, he's got the powers of God. That's how he can do it. But I honestly sit down and have no clue where he's headed, what he's going to say. It just comes out. It always comes out pretty good, doesn't it? Tell others about it. Bring them to the miracle that I bring to you. I'll be doing this as long as I can, but each birthday makes it a little harder. So have a great week. Have a blessed week. Know that God is with you every step of the way. And if you love him as he loves you, all will be great. Goodbye, and thank you for listening.